Ow! Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to another First 3 Episodes anime review. Well, actually, this is a redux of a previous episode because I have no idea what's been going on, but I've been having a lot of sound problems, sound mixing problems using Windows Movie Maker, which I've never had before. Usually I try to add a snippet of the music from a particular anime in order to make background music for my reviews, but in this case, the volume keeps on bouncing back to maximum volume, and there's nothing that I can do about it, it seems. And it's very, very frustrating. So I've decided to go ahead and scrap the old one to try to do this one last time. And besides, I finished watching the anime in its entirety, and so now I have a better perspective of things. And the anime that I'm talking about is the Order of Rabbit arc, Gochumon wa Usagi desu ka? Now, this particular anime is one of those slice of life deals. So I know there are a lot of people who really hate slice of life anime, and then there are those who really love slice of life animes. There are very, very few that kind of factor in between. People either love them or hate them. I'm one of those who tends to really love slice of life anime, but it has to rub me the right way. I've seen some that I thought were either just too much, in other words, maybe too much in jokes and such, to where a lot of the humor and a lot of the content completely went over my head, because a lot of slice of life anime does have those cultural references that, unless you were born and raised in Japan, you probably wouldn't get. So some of the anime that have been slice of life comedies and whatnot have come with liner notes when they are released, when and if they're released in the States, like Lucky Star, for instance, which has about 1,000,001 different kinds of cultural references. Yet I still find it fun. But then sometimes they go completely overboard and just give this huge info dump, or jokes that really, I guess, are so Japanese that it really kind of would go over an American's head. One of those that ended up being such a disappointment in that regard, at least to me, was Nichijou. Fortunately, Is the Order of Rabbit does not fall into that category at all. Is the Order of Rabbit is a very approachable and very easy to get into anime. It stars, the main character, her name is Koko Hoto. Now, before I continue, all these characters' names are puns in regards to various drinks, because the main plot takes place in a coffee shop. Coco comes to this new town to enroll in a new school, and to pay off her tuition, she works part-time at a coffee shop whose family, who owns it, has actually taken her in to live at their place. And she immediately gloms on to one of the main waitresses, a younger girl named Chino, who's in middle school. Coco seems to be in high school. Now, this series is kind of, well, it's definitely sort of a lolly series. Fortunately, it does not go to the really creepy levels of fan service that a lot of other series that have characters which would be considered lolly are. These characters, there are some shots that would be considered risque every now and again, but they're more done for a cute factor than anything that would be overtly sexual. Thankfully. So, the story is basically about Coco's life, and with her friends Chino and Rize, and Chia and Sharo. The other girls, Rize is the daughter of a soldier, and she tends to be a big military otaku, big gun nut. As a matter of fact, she has trouble dealing with normal, quote-unquote, people because she grew up with sort of a military upbringing. Chia is another girl from Coco's high school whose family runs a coffee shop of her own. And this particular coffee shop has another rabbit mascot. As a matter of fact, I forgot to tell you this. The coffee shop that Coco works at has a little rabbit mascot, an Angora rabbit. And if you've ever seen an Angora rabbit, they look like a ball of fluff. with 2 ears. This Angora rabbit is named Tippy, who for some strange reason is possessed by the spirit of Chino's dead grandfather. And then finally you have Sharo, who is who lives next door to the coffee shop that Chia works at, and though she's very poor, the girls first think that she's very rich, and she tries to hide the fact that she's very poor from them. So each of these girls have very interesting, distinctive personalities. Coco is your typical sort of ditzy girl. Chino is very shy and quiet. Rize tends to be very outspoken, almost tsundere-ish. Then Chia tends to be not so much soft-spoken, but she's almost sort of the mother hen of the group. And Sharo is a little bit nervous and frenetic. And also, for some reason, caffeine has the same effects on her that alcohol does to normal people. And that has resulted in some seriously funny comedy beats in this particular series. So, the series is pretty much that in a nutshell. The lives of these girls working in their various shops and just the things that they talk about. Some reviewers and otaku out there probably would find this series somewhat boring. And I hate using that word because another reviewer who I do enjoy watching, Masako X, did say that to him this series was boring. Well, I can't fault him. Different strokes for different folks. But that kind of hurt me because I really loved this series. And one of the things I really loved about it was the art style, first of all. Very brightly colored, very attractively done, very crisp and very clear. And the town that it all takes place in has a sort of, I want to say German or even Swiss look to it that is very, very attractive. And of course, each girl has a very distinctively different look to themselves. And also the color scheme, as a matter of fact, works out that way as well. Coco tends to wear mostly pink. Chino wears mostly blue. Rize tends to wear mostly purples or dark blues. Chia tends to wear mostly green, and Sharo, if memory serves, tends to wear mostly yellow. And then they're not the only other characters in the story. Other people come through that they interact with, and different things happen. But the show does not have a centralizing plot. It's very episodic in nature, and each episode is a very simple story involving something that just might be going on at that very moment. And it is, like I said, it does have some moments of fan service, and the girls are very, very, I'm not saying attractive in the sense of the way most people would think. I'm just saying attractively designed. And it's kind of hard to describe this without just simply saying the show is relaxing to me. That's probably one of the main reasons why I like it so much. This is the type of anime that you would watch after a really long, hard day at work. You come kick off your shoes, pour yourself a cup of tea or coffee, or even crack open a beer if that's your thing, and just kick back in front of the computer or the TV, whatever you're watching it on, and just relax, and it helps to make your day a little bit better. It's just that downright enjoyable. And it's one that I would recommend for a person who's looking for an anime that's fairly simple, and it's something that they can relax to. Is the Order of Rabbit is absolutely that kind of anime, and really, just for lack of a better word, it's flat out adorable. That's the word that did not come to mind. I don't understand why it didn't come to my mind up until now. All the characters are just really designed to be flat out adorable. One of my closest friends is a big anime nut, and he tends to gravitate towards things that have an excessive amount of cuteness. He's weird, but then so am I. And this is one that he kind of got me into, and I really found enjoyable because of the cuteness factor, believe it or not. And if you really like your anime with that kind of cuteness, it's not to the point where it becomes revolting. it doesn't do anything excessively in this show, and I think that's probably the reason why it's so enjoyable. It hits that sweet spot. Is the Order of Rabbit, from beginning to end, just hits that anime sweet spot. And the only real criticism I have of the series is that I wish there had been more of it made. My friend had bought this art book, and I am so jealous of him because the art is beautiful, and I collect art books. And this is one I definitely want to add to my collection. The art-wise, it's that beautiful, and that combined with the calm story and the relaxing nature of it is something that I think if an anime fan who is looking for something that is not going to be too hefty to deal with is going to really enjoy. So that's my take on it, everybody. Please tell me what you think down below in the doobly-doo. Not in the doobly-doo, in the comment section, excuse me. As always, comment, rate, subscribe. As always, keep your comments civil. Trolls will be eliminated. And thank you very much once again for listening to this redux of a first 3 episodes anime review. I do apologize for the last 2 attempts at making this, how the music seemed to interfere with everything that I was saying. So, until then, everyone, this is DecKrash, better known as Brandon, and as always, stay lucky and stay blessed. Take care.